Very similar, again, to what we shared. Anything inflammatory, you have those high fatty, high toxic food items that are processed. Toxic meaning this, if there are chemicals in them. If there are chemicals, and I say for people, be an avid food label reader. It doesn't matter how much protein, how much carbs, that stuff really is insignificant. What's really significant is what's in the ingredients, what is in the product that you're eating. And if you can't pronounce half of it, if you need like a biochemistry degree to read the food labels, you probably shouldn't be eating that stuff. I mean, really. So for people that are battling leaky gut, I would truly minimize processed foods to a nil. I would eat a high vegetarian, high fruits and veggies, good healthy legumes. Black beans are great. Good healthy nuts like raw almonds and raw walnuts and pistachios. Go back to flaxseed and chia seed. Good natural omega-3, low inflammatory based foods. And you want to be very diligent, especially if you're battling it now, if you're going through an acute response. You want to be very diligent. Put bone broth into your diet, very high in protein. Bone broth is very easy to make from just, I would always suggest GMO-free, non-pesticide fed, so you want organic fed chicken, turkey, livestock, cows, that sort of thing, sheep if you can get your hands on, goat. You get these bones, you put them in a big crock pot simmer thing, you simmer it overnight, and you add some good vegetables, some pepper, some onions and garlic, and just let that just simmer overnight. And that is a healing elixir. Very, very soothing for the gut. I mean, how many of us, when we get sick, we always go back to chicken noodle soup? I mean, it's really the bone broth that we want. So we want to constitute that, and high probiotic fermented foods as much as possible. So I also before, I know it's not asked, but I got to put a little plug in there because I'm the essential oil guy. Essential oils can help. Cardamom, peppermint, and thyme have been shown to help with gut issues like irritable bowel syndrome. Truth be told, we have virtually no research on leaky gut specifically in essential oils. Why? Again, because leaky gut isn't really taught. It's not discussed in medical school. It's still a conundrum. People are still trying to figure it out. What is it? They're trying to figure out the diagnostic criteria. Medical doctors are relatively unfamiliar with it. So when we have this concept, there's little research to support. But the gut's the gut. And if there's gut dysfunction, then we could see how small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, also known as SIBO or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, other bowel issues, we could see how they relate to one another. And cardamom, peppermint, and thyme, and even rose have been used in research studies very effectively. Here's the kicker though. There's really only two ways of using these essential oils to help the gut, because the gut is so distal, it's so far down to the GI tract. And number one, predominantly, the best way is through putting essential oils, 1, 2, maybe 3 drops in an enteric-coated capsule. Enteric-coated capsule are capsules that will not be digested or broken down by the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. They bypass the stomach, they bypass the small intestine, and they get broken down by the time it gets into the bowel, the large intestine. That's where the issue is. That's where the inflammation is. That's where the intestinal permeability is. So that's where you want the essential oils to go. So you need to find enteric-coated capsules. The other way is applying diluted essential oils over the abdomen. Very effective. Like we've seen, this has been research that we've known since the 80s. Research since the 80s have shown that essential oils placed on the abdomen, diluted, literally penetrate into the bloodstream. Within 20 minutes, the highest concentration of those essential oil compounds are running through your whole body because they get into your bloodstream. Within 4 hours, 5 max, they get metabolized completely. You can't find those chemicals anymore, which is good. You don't want to have chemicals in your body that your body can't digest. Does that make sense? So with that, you want to apply topical diluted essential oils, and I recommend a 2% dilution, typically speaking, max 5% dilution for gut concerns like this. And if you're not familiar with aromatherapy, pretty straightforward, folks. In 1 tablespoon, for example, there are 300 drops of oil. So if you want a 2% solution in 300 drops, that'd be 6 drops of essential oil per tablespoon. And that would be just a safe, diluted way of applying essential oils into the body to get them to the bloodstream to help the gut.